Okay, so I'm going to do a bit of an update again. This is the ECX circuit that I've given to my girlfriend. Neighbors. Got a no back spec speed control on it. It's got a Tican 17.5. Up here in Canada, we don't have a 17.5 stock. Well, up at our track, I should say. So we have that. We have an open truck class, which is what this falls into, but it's you know, it's a slower motor just to get her used to the idea of driving this thing. Stock circuit wheels. The only thing that's not stock, things that are not stock, it's got a pretty fast 0.09 second servo, 100 or maybe 90 ounces of torque. I just put on these J-Concepts flip outs. A little bit messy. The tire glue I have is black. It works pretty good. The 17.5, it's timed out. I timed out pretty much to the max. It's got a pretty big. It's got the biggest pinion I could fit on there, and then some. Actually notched it out, but it's actually got a 28 tooth 48 pitch pinion on there, so it's geared pretty high. You can't really go any more. Looking at getting I've been in contact with Novak, and I don't know if it's a common thing, but one of the guys there emailed me and said that you can get away with maybe running a weak 13.5 in there. So I'm looking at getting a lower KV 13.5. Because 17.5 is timed out, it's geared out to the max, and it's still kind of slow. It's pretty fast for what it is. And it's got the Traxxas TQI system, just a very, very basic system. That's what's going to be her vehicle. One of her vehicles. She has this, and then the short course stock class. So that's going to be hers for the big race tomorrow. And this is something totally new for me. I have got a 8 scale buggy. And it's a Team Associated RC8 BE. It's got a lot of temporary stuff in it right now, just because the cost of the 8 scale stuff is a little bit higher. So it's got a Traxxas 2075, decent torque, speed's not too bad. I'm happy with it. I'm just trying to get out there and have a little bit of fun with it. It's got some inexpensive Turnigy, I should say Zippy batteries in it. 4,000 milliamps, 20C a piece. So they're pretty weak. They're not the best, but there's no puffing, no issues with them, and I kind of picked the motor around that. Now the speed control, I had a Losi SETE last year, and this is actually the Turnigy 120 amp, and I bought that for that. It's good up to 4S. It says apparently it's ideal for buggies, 4S. It says in the instructions. But I ended up getting the SCTE back, parted that out, got the speed control connected to a HPI Alpha Star 2350 kV motor, which is, it's not focusing too well. It's a little bit high on the kV. I wanted something around 1800. We don't have a real high speed track. It's more technical. So it's almost like a turbo car, or maybe like a diesel truck. It's kind of smooth off the bottom end, and really linear and smooth. Good for me because I'm learning. It's got a Team Associated radio system in it, and it's completely unintentional. I'm not a Spider-Man or Superman fanatic by any means, shape, or form, but yeah, that's the body. Looks not too bad. The only downfall, it is a nitro body, so as you can tell here, you got your nitro, your cutout for the nitro engine. So it sits high up here on the one side, but I mean, That was the body that came with it. When I bought it as a roller for $150, so I can't complain. The tires are absolutely, oh boy, I guess I destroyed them even more last night. Oops. Oh boy, I don't even know if I'll be able to use them. Anyway, they came with it, so I've been able to get some use out of it. I have ordered some AKA Gridiron 2s mounted, so they're going to be here in the coming couple weeks. My Losi 22 truck is still out. It's one of the camber blocks or caster blocks, whatever you want to call it. There, it's broken out. And my new little trade deal I got. I traded a Team Associated TC4 touring car roller with a worn out motor for a good old Losi XX buggy. We have a once a year race, and in that race we have a vintage class. And so that basically means 1995 and older is allowed. And from my research, they introduced this buggy in 1994. So it's 94, 95 likely in that area. It's okay. So there's been some changes throughout the years. Somebody notched it out for the speed control, which is an HPI 15 turn brushed speed control. This is just some chunk of a Traxxas something or other. I could kind of tell right away from the body's not on there. I could tell kind of right away from this. Looks like an E-Revo or whatever. But underneath, like I said, you got your HPI 15 turn speed control. It's got a new HPI 15 turn motor. I mean, I really doubt that speed control's that old. I mean, it could be. But, so basically, before I enter it in the class, I'm going to end up picking up a proper wing for it. eBay has just a clear casting of these. You actually cut it out just like a body. You can cut the body pan, the gear cover out. It's like $6. The spur gear, he had the mesh really tight, and as you can tell, he burned out the gear. Just totally destroyed the spur. But that's peanuts. It's still got the original wheels and tires, all four, non-cracked. Everything's pretty decent, and I sense a theme here. I have a Traxxas 2056. Can't even tell. 2056 servo. So basically, I got it. Actually, got a 6L battery charging right now too for it. But the battery, like, this thing is a running driving car. All you gotta do is put a radio system in it. And if you're a little bit anal, then yeah, you're gonna want to rate the proper wing, and you're gonna want a proper uncut out body. But I have no intentions of really changing anything. The tires aren't the greatest, but that's what is original to it, which is pretty cool. I gave it a bit of a wash. So the only changes I'm really gonna make is the front end is just like it's like a spring. There's like no shock action at all. It's just basically riding on the springs. The rear, on the other hand, is quite nice and plush. But yeah, it's obviously had some race time. I'm assuming that's where you're gonna stick your transponder, and it's been spinning around. So yeah, I'm quite excited to have this, and it didn't really cost me that much because the vehicle I traded it for was a class I'm getting out of. I'm getting out of the touring car. I like the Mini. It's so much more fun. So yeah, this is going to be my vintage class entrant. So that's a bit of an update, and I'm going to try and make more running videos because I make a lot of update videos, but a lot of people just want to see running and driving and bashing and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to try to do a bit more of that. We have a race tomorrow, so I'll see if I can get some footage, and yeah, that's it for now.